Peace. Infinite Waters diving deep once again. Shout out to all you amazing deep divers. I hope all of you are taking care of yourself. I woke up like this, all magical and fly, covered in a rainforest. Just, whoa, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Raising the frequency. I feel so much better now. Raising the vibration. You feel so much better now. Sending you tons of good ass energy, deep divers. Take that, take that, take that. The cat down the road said you feel as right as rain. Look, I just put out a brand new video on the Patreon. Shout out to all the patrons out there, okay? If you haven't joined Deep Divers, join right now. Join the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart. Click the link down below, Deep Divers, and be inspired and join the YouTube membership for full access to the live streams, all new exclusive content that's going to take you to the next level. Click join below this video, and it's finally here, the brand new book, 10 years in the making, 500 pages. We call it the Bible of Becoming Your Greatest Version. Deep divers, go and get Feel Alive to Unlock Your Infinite Power by Ralph Smart. The secret recipe to becoming your greatest version, now available on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/thebook. Click the link down below, deep divers, and become your greatest version. So deep divers, this channel is designed to help you become your greatest version. And to become our greatest versions, we have to take a look at what's happening also out there in the Matrix. Also out there on the world stage. And right now, you got the US. They've just attacked Iran, right? And we're going to talk about this, deep divers, because it's trending right now on X. And I want to give you my take on this whole situation, okay? The US just bombed Iran's nuclear facilities, 3 of them, I think. And things are not telling you, deep divers. We're going to take a deep dive into this. Once again, become your greatest version. I want all of you right now to hit that like button if you support the real. Hit that like button right now if you support the real, deep divers, because we got a whole lot to talk about. Look, if you are watching this video, this is your confirmation. So much good is coming your way. If you're ready to receive it, do a little samba, baby. Look. Deep divers, war, yeah, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And when I take a look at Israel, Iran, the US, Iran, I say war is never a good thing. Because no one wins in war. Everyone loses. And it seems that humanity still hasn't learned anything. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? So let me play you the news story, deep divers, and I'm going to give you my take, my reaction to all of this situation that's unfolding right now as I speak. Okay, let's go.
I want to put the statement by President Trump up on the screen. He says in a Truth Social post, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter." I'm here with CNN's Jeremy Diamond in Tel Aviv. Obviously, Jeremy, this is something that we have been waiting for and watching for. We got the word earlier today that B-2s were in the air. There has been some reporting they're heading toward Guam. We don't know exactly what aircraft were used in this. They set a full payload of bombs, which there had been a lot of discussion about how many of these bunker buster bombs would be required to really damage Fordo facility. Unclear if just one would be enough. He says bombs. It sounds like there were multiple strikes.
Yeah, and you know, even as he is talking about multiple nuclear sites in Iran, the one to key in on is the Fordo facility, because we know that that is the facility that is buried deep beneath a mountain in Iran that would require those B-2 bombers and would require those 30,000 pound bombs to be dropped over that facility. And most experts have estimated that it would take multiple bombing runs to actually get to the depth required to destroy that facility in Fordo, and it appears that the United States has now carried out that strike. The question, as you said, how many runs did it take? Were they able to destroy it completely? You know, we don't know that yet. We don't have that battle damage assessment that they need to do.
We should also point out the Natanz facility, according to the IAEA and others, that was damaged by Israeli authorities. That was damaged early on in Israel's actions against Iran. The exact level of damage was not clear. There were some initial reports that perhaps the damage was worse than it actually was.
Right, so this is trending right now, deep divers. Take a listen to BBC's little commentary.
The United States has carried out massive precision strikes on 3 key nuclear facilities in Iran, obliterating them, in his words. We've seen a number of explosions over Tel Aviv and Jerusalem in the past few hours after Iran launched a missile attack. Israel says a number of areas were hit in the north and center of the country, with at least 16 casualties reported. Well, Israel says a number of areas were hit in the north and center of the country, with those casualties reported, and 30 missiles in total were managed to breach the Israeli defense shield. Sirens sounded in several regions as Israel's defensive systems operated to intercept the threat. These pictures show some of the damage from Iranian attacks.
Right, so a lot is happening out there in the world. And deep divers, during this time, let me remind you, focus on yourself. Focus on yourself, because as time passes, you're going to hear a lot about this story. As it unfolds, you're going to hear a lot about the US, Iran, Israel, and you're going to be inundated by it. And don't lose sight that you came here to become your greatest version. At the same time, what is happening is important, because it will affect you. Iran is saying, hey, there is going to be unprecedented danger for the whole world now because of what the US has done. And Trump says that this will create peace. But how can war create peace? That's what they're not telling you. Because you see, war only creates more war. And now Iran is going to probably attack the US, right? Military bases and other countries around the world. So you have to be prepared that the world is walking on thin ice. But deep divers, this is what the ancients were talking about as the end times. Even in the Bible, they talk of these times as the end times, where nation is against nation. And once again, humanity's ego has gotten out of control. Here's what Trump had to say.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel.
Right, so there you have Trump speaking, President Trump. And this is crazy because even people like Candace Owens, who was very supportive of Trump, recently came out saying, oh my gosh, he doesn't even know what Trump is doing right now. And a lot of Trump supporters are like, I thought you said you would end all wars, not create them, right? So that's something to pay attention to. You know, I wrote down this, deep divers. War only creates more war. Give peace a chance. And this is what we have to pay attention to because, you know, in becoming our greatest versions, we have to remind ourselves that war is never the answer. War only creates more war. And in the great words of Martin Luther King, returning hate for hate multiplies hate, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And John Lennon, all we are saying is give peace a chance. And we have to take that into our minds every single day to give peace a chance, because you see, what's happened right now is that we are in a very critical time in human history. Do you know, deep divers, the cost of the plane that did this? The B-2? 2.2 billion. And the bomb, 500 million. Like Tupac said, they got money for war, but they can't feed the poor. 2.2 billion just for a plane. Right? So, the world is at war with itself. And in becoming your greatest version, deep divers, remind yourself not to get caught up in sides. Be on the side of truth. Be on the side of peace. Because you see, right now, we are living in the times that they speak of as the end times. We are living in the end times. And this time was prophesied that nation would be against nation. This time was prophesied that there would be wars. This time was prophesied that a lot of casualties. There will be a lot of casualties. And we have to remind ourselves every single day to be a light in the dark. To bring peace to the chaos. We've got to be the change we wish to see in the world. So, Iran is saying what the US has done is against the UN policy, and here's what the foreign minister had to say.
The Islamic Republic of Iran condemns in the strongest terms the United States' brutal military aggression against Iran's peaceful nuclear facilities. It is an outrageous, grave, and unprecedented violation of the fundamental principles of the Charter of the United Nations and international law. The warmongering and lawless administration in Washington is solely and fully responsible for the dangerous consequences and far-reaching implications of its act of aggression. The US military attack on the territorial integrity and national sovereignty of a UN member state carried out with genocidal Israeli regime, carried out in collusion with the genocidal Israeli regime, has once again revealed the extent of the United States' hostility towards the peace-seeking people of Iran, who will never compromise over their independence and sovereignty. The Islamic Republic of Iran continue to defend Iran's territory, sovereignty, security, and people by all means necessary against not just US military aggression, but also the reckless and unlawful actions of the Israeli regime. While President Trump was elected on a platform of putting an end to America's costly involvement of forever wars in our part of the world, he has betrayed not only Iran by abusing our commitment to diplomacy, but also deceived his own voters by submitting to the wishes of a wanted war criminal who has grown accustomed to exploiting the lives and wealth of American citizens to further the Israeli regime's objectives.
So that's Iran's foreign minister. And I always tell you, deep divers, the truth is that you want to focus on yourself. The truth is that an eye for an eye and the whole world goes blind. The truth is that go and listen to the song Imagine by John Lennon. He says, imagine there's no countries. And this is where these are the things they're not telling you. That you want to learn how to be a sovereign nation unto yourself. Slow motion this side. Because this is the only solution. Go and listen to that song, Imagine. Imagine there's no countries. Imagine the whole world lived as one. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if 8 billion people on this planet loved and appreciated each other, what we could all accomplish? Another slow motion. Just imagine that. So we got to remind ourselves that war is never a solution. War only creates more war. And Trump, initially he said it will be 2 weeks. He'll give Iran 2 weeks. Now he's just taken out the nuclear facilities, and we don't really know what Iran's response is going to be. And this is worrying because, you see, in the art of war, you always attack when your enemy least suspects, right? You always attack when your enemy is caught off guard. So this attack could be next week, a year's time, 2 years' time, 5 years' time. And this is what happens. Now you're gonna breed a lot of martyrs. And this is why people have to be careful. Because although a lot of people might say, yes, this is finished, it's over. But is it really over? That's what you have to put a question mark on. Because you see, Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran, they were asking Putin what would happen if he was assassinated by Trump, right? If he was assassinated. And Putin, he didn't even answer the reporter. He's just like, I don't even want to think about that. So it seems that Russia, Putin is keeping a close eye on this situation. Now, what is he going to think? What is Putin's relationship going to be with the US after this, right? Because Putin might say, actually, this is a problem right now. So this is going to be interesting to see where all of this goes. Bernie Sanders came out and said this. Take a listen.
This is a statement from Donald Trump, quote, we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, etc. I agree. And I want to tell you something. Not only is this news that I've just heard this second alarming, that all of you have just heard, but it is so grossly unconstitutional. All of you know that the only entity that can take this country to war is the U.S. Congress. The president does not have the right.
So you see the crowd saying no more war, and Bernie Sanders saying the only one that can take America to war is the Congress, not the president himself, but he has, right? So times are changing, right? So once again, focus on yourself, deep divers. If you are ready for peace in the world, I want all of you right now to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you are ready for peace right now in the world, hit that like button right now, because the world needs peace. Don't think that it's all over, because you have to remind yourself that this has just opened up a can of worms, and now countries are going to go back and forth. Iran is going to be going back and forth with the US. So it's going to put a lot of people's lives in danger. Once again, returning hate for hate multiplies hate, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. That's why I'm just saying. Feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Whoa, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Deep divers, join the YouTube membership. Click join below this video for full access to the live streams, all new exclusive content, and join the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart. Click the link down below, deep divers. You're going to love it. And go and get the brand new book, Feel Alive 2. Unlock Your Infinite Power by Ralph Smart, the secret recipe to becoming your greatest version. Now available on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the book. Click the link down below, deep divers. And if you want a one-to-one consultation with me so I can help you become your greatest version, book it at ralphsmart.com/one-to-one sessions. And of course, deep divers, go and get the good ass prana shirts. All new designs you're going to love for men, women, children, even cats down the road at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. And spreadshirt.com if you're in America, and if you're a sexy ass model. Whoa, with a whole lot of heart. You want to model the clothing? Well, go and buy some. Deep divers, always choose love, not war. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. Yo! Once again, deep divers, hit that like button right now if you support the real. Share the video, subscribe to the channel. Once again, hit that like button. If you are ready for peace, hit that like button and leave a comment down below of gratitude and appreciation. One love, peace.